Hello, hello. It's Tyler Bryden, the CEO and co-founder of Speak AI. Very excited to share what we consider a pretty massive release with you today, and that is Shareable Media Libraries, but they're now enabled with embeddings. And if you don't know what embeddings are, it's an amazing process that allows you to overcome some of the technical hurdles that these large language models, generative AI systems have, where once the text gets too long, especially maybe you're dealing with long focus groups or interviews, or you've got a ton of those that you want to analyze at once, the system breaks because it can't handle all that data. And so you don't get the response you need, or you don't even get any response at all. And embeddings allows you to upload data, store it in our system, and it has this wonderful sort of numeric representation of that data that understands meaning and context. So when you are asking a question, you can use that entire data set to prioritize what data is analyzed, summarized, and then gets you this very nice, concise response. And if you haven't used the Speak Magic Prompts function, it's directly in the app, and there's a couple great videos on that, so I won't spend too much time on it, but I can jump in here and then I can open this prompt and I can say, hey, I'm this sort of role. I want to get maybe one of these pre-recommended prompts, or I can write my own. And then as soon as I click that, it's going to run through all the data and then it's going to produce a response. And if we look in the history here, we have some of the responses that have come. It looks like we are doing the same question over and over again in a demo environment, but you can see assistant type prompt answer. Fantastic functionality. Now, the other thing that this pieces together is the Shareable Media Library, which we have created a video. This is the old environment here, but if you do want to check out more detail what the Shareable Media Library is, you can check out this video. I'm going to walk through quite a bit of this today just to make sure that you have the full context around this and everything you need. Now, what I can do, and this is where a lot of possibilities open up, is I can take this folder, and you could think of this folder as maybe this is a project that you're doing with your team, or maybe you have a client and you've added all your files to a folder for your client, and you want to be able to share the insights back to that client or that team member or those executives or any stakeholders. Maybe you're just sharing it publicly. And in the current context, you'd have to have a Speak account. They'd have to be users in the account. But we've opened up this ability with Shareable Media Libraries to jump over that limitation and enable you to do a Shareable Media Library with a simple link that then they can access and do some cool things. And all you have to do, if you have this as a function, as an add-on in Speak, is you can click on this little button here. I can hit Share Embed Media, and then we've got a page that is being created. Now we can custom brand this page, we can white label this page, you can make this your own, you can password protect this, you can choose a couple options of what you want to do. Do you want to enable download data visualizations, all of that great stuff, and you can even add some calls to actions, logos, branding, and that's fantastic. So I now have this page, it's going to pop up. I've already logged in, so I don't have to worry about my password, but on the first prompt, it would ask for the password. The data that we have is a little longer than 3 months ago. We need to record some more office hours, but now we have the main dashboard that is the Shareable Media Library. And this has always been great. If you're interested in, say, transcription, I can click on transcription and I can jump. It's going to take a second here. It's a ton of data to get all those exact moments where transcription was mentioned a ton of times throughout these data sets. And if I want, I can say, oh, here's the exact moment. And then I can jump and listen back to the actual call, watch the video, and it allows you to navigate through things super, super quickly, which has always been very exciting. But what we've now enabled is this Ask Magic Prompts functionality directly in the Shareable Media Library. So we've gotten the button here. I have it open in a tab, and I've gone through this question that I've asked, which is summarize the main discussion points in a concise bullet point list. What's cool is you can even sub-segment the data within a folder. Even in the Shareable Media Library, you can do multiple folders at once. So if you have multiple folders for a client or a team, you can grab all of those, create a link, and then dump all of that data into the Shareable Media Library so anyone can access it. Where this tag part comes in is sometimes what we see is whether teams doing customer research or research firms doing focus groups, whatever it is, they're maybe sub-tagging. So they're saying, hey, this demographic type or this location or this type of profile that we're analyzing. So it can become this nice hierarchy that you can analyze data with, or you can filter in, filter out. And so I could say, I only want to get answers from this demographic profile, which opens up a ton of possibilities. Now, what I did is I took that magic prompt functionality, We've added it directly to the Shareable Media Library. And now I can just write the question. In this case, I used a pre-selected one. I was looking for the main discussion points and a concise bullet point list. And this was hundreds and hundreds of hours of Speak office hours, us talking about Speak and how we can improve and what we're learning from all our work. And what's cool is it comes back quicker. If you embed the data instead of using the magic prompts from the scratch, it streamlines that process, especially if it's a large data set. Again, you can break through these character limitations of large language models. You can speed up the cost effectiveness of it as well too, because you've embedded it. It allows you to do a lot of optimization on how much data is then passing, and then decreases the cost for you to interact with Speak in the magic prompt system, which is fantastic. And then the last piece, there's probably even more that we haven't fully discovered, but one of the last pieces is a value proposition where then with the embeddings, we can know the exact references and sources of that media. So unlike magic prompts, when you use it directly in the app, all of a sudden we have, okay, here's the answer that we got, and here's the reference of how it got to that answer. And so when you are making decisions or when you're reviewing the answer, you can all of a sudden have even more levels of confidence of how this answer was created. And if you want, you can jump back to those moments to watch, listen, read, to then back up those responses that you're getting from these large language models. And in general, this was pretty good, 20 seconds. And we've now got a summary of a bunch of the things that we had talked about throughout these. I can then look, I can click, and I can also do that same function where I can then jump to a specific moment in it. If I want to do one more just to see what are the benefits of natural language processing, I can hit submit. And it will now run. So might again take 20, 30 seconds. It's a huge data set, but very powerful in terms of that capability of scraping through all the information, understanding what is most relevant, most important, using that embeddings technology, and then giving you the response that you want. So again, what's super exciting about this is generally just a couple of years ago, this was a complex technical process to enable embeddings. As that's become democratized, more people are able to access it. And we've now enabled that. We've got the response that has come back. Here are some of the benefits of natural language processing. I could go even more specific with this prompt from this office hours video with the Speak AI team members who have a software about it. So you can get very specific with the prompts. And then we've got, again, the reference points here, and I can jump to those exact moments. But what I was alluding to is that while this embedding has become a little bit more democratized, the ability to create these embeddings automatically and then be able to share these with clients, teams, stakeholders, that's still a very complex process. And then once you add also the custom branding, the interface, all of this can be quite a challenging process. And so we're super excited to have enabled this for you live. We do believe this is the future of data analysis and sharing insights. And it's nothing to say that this isn't valuable, because we've put a lot of work into this and we see the value. And I think even sometimes getting a little bit of a word cloud or some visualization can drive a lot of top level understanding that then makes you want to drill down. And sometimes that even supplements the question asking that you're doing. But overall, from stitching things together with extracted keywords and sentiment to get the insights and understanding, to just being able to ask a question and getting the exact response with the resources, the references, it's powerful. It's super exciting. And we're just excited to build this directly into Speak and enable you to be able to do this too. So if you have any questions or thoughts, this is live now. We already have customers using this. If you're interested in this, send us a message. You do need to have the Shareable Media Library enabled, and then there's some other things that we consider just based on the size of your data, how many people you're sharing it with, and things like that. But overall, super, super meaningful. And there's a lot of great things we can do to even understand what the people that you share it to, how they're interacting, what they're looking for, and then building that relationship even more deeply so you can continue to unlock insights for the people that you're working with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you again, as always, for your support of Speak AI. It means the world to us. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.